What's up, buddy?
Hey, not much. How you been?
Oh, I have just been enjoying Pal World, and uh, I just finished another game that we're going to review probably in another episode. And I accidentally almost uploaded an episode. This next week's episode, I almost uploaded it today on accident, and I had to unpublish the episode and then reschedule it for next week.
Sounds like a full day.
Yeah, I actually the game I finished today was called Timberborn, and it was one of those games where I marathoned that thing because it's a like a settlement building RTS type of game where
All right.
where you are basically the leader of a bunch of beavers. And
Okay.
yeah, it's a you should look it up while we're talking. Uh, but basically it's a game where you can kind of do something else while you're playing it. So I had one monitor with that game open and another one with doing my work, and I just did that for like a few days of just doing my work while building the settlement up.
That sounds fun, actually.
It was really great. And like whenever my boss would come up, he's like, "What's on that screen?" I'd be like, "Ah, it's just a screensaver."
Good excuse. Good
It was
excuse.
it worked every time, and he's like, "Well, it keeps changing." It's like, "Yeah, it's a slideshow."
No, yeah, it's a movie screensaver. We had those. Remember, like the maze?
Yeah, yeah. Screensaver technology has really come a long way. So what have you been up to?
Well, I finally finished the whole Batman Arkham series.
Nice, nice. How'd you like it?
I really had my rage moments with Origins.
Okay, so I've got a question because I haven't ever really talked to somebody who's played all of the Arkham games. Is Origins really that bad?
I mean, I don't mind the story or anything. My issue is that like you do not have as many grapple points as you think you have. For one
Okay.
thing, as you're like moving around. Second, it's really easy to get stuck like on the geometry.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah, a lot of like rent and like there's a few times I had like you know how like it like whenever like you're getting shot at least it's like, oh, why? So there's smoke grenade. Yeah, I pressed Y,
Yeah,
nothing happened.
that's always the best.
Yeah. And
See,
oh, go
oh, go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead
Uh,
and make my point well before I yeah.
there were Emily and I recently played through Arkham Asylum, and that was my first time going all the way through Arkham Asylum and beating it. And there were like the main issues that I had with that game were the map was very tedious sometimes, and the geometry thing was another one where sometimes you would just get caught on things, and if there are enemies with guns in the room, where you're just screwed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the first Arkham game, there were some rooms where like there was a little bit. It was very annoying to try and like make it through undetected. I don't remember that much. I
Yeah.
remember like one of the ones I remember is I think the ones cages with before like you fight Ivy.
Okay, I remember the Ivy boss fight, but let me see if I remember what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was a little annoying. I remember like having a little bit of issues. I feel Arkham City actually like got like the I think like got the whole like move in the shadows, don't get caught thing like the best. But Arkham Asylum was pretty good. Origins like it's sometimes like with the game was gonna work the way you want it, sometimes it's not. Like I'm like in the middle of a combo and like Batman just gets stuck on something and he's doing like the kick he's gonna do at like to kick like a character like 5 steps away. But he just like does the kick just while standing there. It's like, yeah, you kind of fucked my combo up when I was doing really good.
Yeah. So you already said that you didn't really have any interest in doing so, but let me just tell you that the problems that you have with Arkham Origins, boy howdy, are they 1,000 times worse than Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
Gotham
That
Knights, it was one of those games where I only had fun because I was playing it with someone else. But like the whole time I was playing it, I was like, God, this is bad.
yeah, I mean I had seen that well, I saw a gameplay for it. I was like, yeah, this is just a twin stick shooter. No thanks. This does not look like the
It
depth
it
of abilities and shit that the other games have.
it and the thing is, it had the potential if they would have actually gone in and you know given the same amount of care they gave to Batman to all four of the characters, it would have been really cool. And the one thing that I did appreciate it were there were a variety of costumes for every playable character, and we had a lot of fun like going through unlocking that, like getting the new suits, and then we putting the specking our characters how we wanted them
Yeah.
to. But like when you actually got into the gameplay, the animations were extremely stiff. There were some points where you had to look for like a specific object in a room, and it wasn't always obvious what it was, even though you had to like basically the detective vision from the Arkham games. You had that, but like sometimes if you're like just the right amount of distance away from it, it didn't register in the detective vision, so you didn't know what you were looking for. And I swear to you, every single time you fight somebody, it feels like you're doing. It feels like you have one combo and that's it.
Yeah, that does not sound fun.
It was only fun because I was doing it with my wife. But if she was not there and it was just me, I probably would have given up about 20 minutes in.
Yeah, I would have given up.
Uh, but yeah, so Arkham aside, well, do you have any plans on even trying the Suicide Squad game?
I'll see how it looks first.
Yeah, that's about how I am too. Because like
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot of the things that they set up at the in Arkham Knight, uh, no spoilers because I haven't gone back and gotten to that series yet. But I've heard that they do a lot of just despicable things in the Justice League story. So I mean the Suicide Squad story.
Yeah.
So that's a big maybe for me. But that being said, it would be a long time for I even touched it because the Infinite Dragon, I mean the Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth review embargo dropped today, and it is sitting at a 90 on Metacritic. And Persona 3 Reload comes out next week, and then after that, we've got Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Pal World is incredible, and that's taking up all my time right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Life is gonna
but
get tough.
yeah, plus I'm back to classes, so like my gaming time's basically been cut in half.
Ooh.
But yeah, so we have some reviews. Let you pick. Do you want to do Chia first, or do you want to do
I want to
one
do
of
Chia
your reviews?
first.
All right, well let's do
I
Chia
want to do Chia
first.
first because this is gonna. I feel this is interesting considering how we both play so differently.
Yeah, and I was really thankful. I saw that Chia had won the Game Award for Games for Impact, and I basically the PR team that was in charge of Eternites, which is one of the first reviews we did. I had emailed her because it was the same PR team, and I was like, hey, we want to do a review for this game because we saw that it had won a Game Award and we had kind of missed out on it in 2023. Is there any way that I could get a review code for an episode so that we could do an episode about it? And then she messaged me back and she's like, sure, how many codes do you want? And I was like, holy crap, how many? Like I'd never been asked that before. Like it was always, we were lucky to get the one.
Oh yeah.
And so we both played this game. You went for the 100% completion. I went, I pretty much just mainlined the story. So I'm gonna give my thoughts on the stuff that I played, and then I'm gonna turn it over to you so you can fill in the blanks for all the things that I didn't play.
Sure,
Uh,
and I actually like if you could like say like anything like gameplay wise, like you had like you might have found like weird. Just give me a heads up because I want to see like how it compares like after like you got all the upgrades and shit.
okay, so here's the thing. I barely got any upgrades because I didn't like. I just went through the story. Um, so Chia, basically it's a game where you play as a little girl. Her name is Chia. And did you do the customization? Did you customize your character at all? Like, did you change the
Oh
outfits or the
yeah.
hair or anything? Okay, so I customized mine, and I unknowingly made her look just like Clementine from The Walking Dead season one. Uh, I didn't realize that I had done it at first, but when I got it into the first cutscene, I was like, holy crap, that's Clementine. Uh, but yeah, something the two things that really grabbed me immediately was how good the soundtrack was and how beautiful this game looked. Uh,
It's gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous. The game ran great on the ROG Ally. The only issue I had technically was this game absolutely obliterated the battery. Uh, I would get just under an hour before I had to plug it in.
Damn.
Yeah. Uh, which I mean, the ROG Ally doesn't have the best battery on the best of days anyway. But I mean, this is one of those games where I was glad to have like a portable charger for my Ally. Uh, it the game basically you're living with your dad on an island, and pretty quickly he gets kidnapped by this bad guy, and I'm not going to spoil anything about him.
I'm not gonna
But
lie.
basically,
When I saw him, I was thinking, oh, Coney 2012.
yep, okay, that's fair. So you basically go on a quest to get your dad back, and I think that this game it takes a lot of elements from other video games and it makes them its own. Like it's got the ukulele mechanic where you can play songs and it has different effects depending on the songs. I mean, it's got elements of Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker, and then you've got the glider, which is very reminiscent of like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Uh, and uh, uh, Continuing on the Zelda train, I felt like the raft mechanic was very reminiscent of Wind Waker.
I was thinking the same thing.
Uh, but yeah, it's a really fantastically told story. I had a lot of fun with it all the way through, and something that it's got something that I want every game to have. Well, two somethings. First off, you can pause at any time and save at any time and quit at any time. So, like even in the middle of a cutscene, you could save, close out the game, and load up the game, and you're in the middle of that cutscene. That should be in every game. I love that so much. Uh, but secondly, if there was a section of the game where I had gone to, you basically have to go check on one of your friends, and like she's like a good distance away. So you sail all the way over to her, and then you have to immediately go back to where you just came from. And when it said, "All right, go back to the village," it's like, well, I don't want to go all the way back to the village. So I utilized one of my favorite portions of this game, where you can put in the pause menu. There's a skip gameplay segment option,
I
which
was gonna ask you
basically
about that because I did not use it at all.
I did. Basically, it just skips to the next story cutscene. So if you didn't want to like sail all the way back, it'll just fast forward you to that moment to where you're at the next. Like it basically puts you in the village. So you don't have to sail all the way back manually. Uh, at the very best, it's a really handy fast travel. Uh,
It does sound like it.
and like there was I can't remember what part it was, but there was a section. Oh, it was the section where you're having to go through that base and close up all the little smokestack things.
Yeah.
There was a part where I guess my game glitched and I was just stuck and I couldn't get out, and I just hit the skip gameplay segment and it put me in the next cutscene and everything was fine and dandy. Uh, just the accessibility of that. I was really happy with. And mixing in with that, how good the story was, how good the gameplay was. The art, everything about this game just put it into a great package. And the fact that it's not too long was a big plus for me because I'm as avid video game fan and as somebody who is reviewing video games, having a brief video game is always a big plus for me.
Let's see, I took
Oh,
23 hours and 40 minutes to finish it.
mine was, I think, was around 7 hours. But I wanted to shout out this gameplay mechanic. I'm trying to remember what it's called. What was it Spirit Jump or Soul? Or what was it called? Where you could like jump into.
I think
Go
it
ahead.
was a spirit jump.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'm loading the achievements because I know the achievements will tell me.
While you're looking that up,
Soul.
I don't know.
It was Soul.
Soul Jump. Okay. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever did this, but did you ever pick up an animal? Like just physically pick them up?
Yeah. And
Okay. You could put them in, basically you could put them in your inventory. You could just stow them away in your pocket
Oh yeah.
and they stay there. So I got into a habit where if I knew I was going to be walking a good way, I would have some dogs that I had in my inventory and I would throw them out and soul jump into them just so I could traverse areas faster.
Oh, I didn't even bother with that. Like one of the first songs I got was like a summon animal song. So
Oh, see, I did.
No matter what, I could always summon a dog or a bird.
See, I did not get that because I guess that was just one of the extra things that I missed. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, I did not know this until way after. So the stone stacking minigame, I did not know this, but apparently that is illegal in a lot of places.
Oh yeah, I have heard about that. It's something about tampering with like natural formations and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think, and also it's a thing where like if you do it like on the side of a cliff or something, it could fall off, and if somebody's like further down, it could hit them in the head and kill them or something like
That
it's
too.
something along those lines. But like about that, it's like man, I was committing crimes all left and right.
Tell me about it. Remember, I did all of them.
Yeah, you're basically a wanted fugitive by now. So now I'm going to turn it over to you so you could tell me how your experiences were seeing as you 100% of this game.
Well, as a man who likes to complete games, like I had like one big issue, and this might be just like a me issue, and I know it's a very much like normal people don't have this problem. My problem was that, like sometimes I was in the middle of doing like collecting stuff, trying to like you know how like the whole thing like with a base, like
Yeah,
when you have to like destroy the smokestacks.
yeah.
Yeah, I was holding off on destroying them because I was trying to find like all the guards and trying to like get the achievement, get like the whole you cleared the base thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like in the middle of that, and I was like, okay, I'm missing like I'm missing three guys. Uh, I'm gonna like I'm gonna like put a bomb in here, put the bombs in the last one just so I can like get that over with and like look like without having to worry about missing that one. And yeah, I immediately got into cutscene and like took me like halfway through the world.
Nice.
Yeah, I really hate that because I'm like now I have to make my way back there, find like the two guys that don't know like things reset. They didn't reset, but still, that's a bit of a bother for me.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Uh, sorry. I got cut off and I lost my train of thoughts. You go ahead.
Okay. Glitch wise, like the only one I got was basically kind of funny. You remember the sunken ship?
Yes.
Okay. I was exploring it before I got like basically any stamina fruits. So basically, you drown in like what in a few seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah. Thing is, like, yeah, I was just exploring, looking around. Suddenly, I drowned. I was like, oh, well, oh, this thing puts you back in the ship. So I was like, okay, I know this is not the way to be doing this, but I'm gonna abuse the fuck out of this mechanic and just basically just explore until I drowned and just jump down again after the game loaded back in. Uh, so yeah, I drowned. Then I was like, oh, the game's loading, respawn. I don't know what I pressed. I remember I pressed A to jump, but like the thing is, it put me back underwater with infinite breath,
Nice.
and I was like, okay, this works, and
Did
it
you?
worked perfectly on. It worked perfectly until I had to interact with whatever I found.
So did you? Oh, okay. So after you found that, it put reverted you to the normal breath.
Yeah,
I will say that you said a sentence earlier. Suddenly I drowned. That's just like that would be perfect for like a gravestone.
yeah.
Suddenly I drowned.
Like I didn't even know I was drowning.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. I was
Yeah.
breathing just fine, and then suddenly I drowned.
But I gotta say, dude, moving around the world after you get like all the upgrades, it's amazing. Like I don't know if you did like the whole like one of the random things like I thought to do, which apparently was an achievement afterwards. Uh, grab, possess a rock, throw the rock, uh, possess the rock again as it's flying off, throw it again, and to keep on doing that, you can cover so much distance. It's so hilarious.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't have ever thought to do that, honestly.
Yeah, that was like a random thing. And then
How much?
afterwards, just oh, go ahead, go ahead.
How much distance do you have to cover before you got the achievement?
Oh, you don't have. You just have to do it like you just have to do it like once. You don't have to cover a certain amount of distance or anything. It was just
Oh, nice.
it was just like a random thing. Like I thought maybe this will like help me move faster, and it did. It did a lot.
That's kind of like how in some of the Zelda games you can Ocarina of Time, where if you can just do the little roll throughout Hyrule, you can get there. You through it so much faster.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that was like amazing. Also, the food looks really good, and I'm really sad they did not put recipes in this game.
Oh my god, you would think that like hopefully the developer will put like how a lot of games now have cookbooks that come out where you can see the recipes from the game.
Yeah, no, like the thing is like I don't know if you ever like went into your journal, like to look up stuff.
Every now and then.
Okay, you notice like the journal has like for like has so much information. I just kind of wish like they would have like I wish I would actually like put like foods from the islands and like they would give you a little description of the foods so, like you can like I don't know maybe make something similar at home.
Yeah, something that I just thought about that I wanted to go over real quick. This game has a really good sense of humor, and when it hits, it really does hit. Like the chicken without the head, that made me laugh a lot. And then
Oh,
also there's a part in the game where you basically have to take a ticket like at the DMV, and it's like 999. And as soon as you fill out all the paperwork, you get sent on another quest. And as you're walking out, somebody gets in, and it's like, oh, 1,000th customer, you go straight to the turn of the line.
oh god, that was so painful.
I at those two moments, I had
felt
like
that pain.
I had a audible laugh that escaped from me because I thought it was so funny. And also the songs in this game. One of the only times a game has had me singing the songs from it as I was like I played this game at my local cigar shop.
Yeah.
So I like on my lunch breaks I go in the cigar club and I smoke a cigar while I'm playing my games for review. And like as I was walking out, I was just singing the first song that you play with your dad and like in the opening of the game. And I was like, man, this game is gonna be special.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, I was trying to do like the whole like. Then I noticed afterwards, like I started playing the game. Oh yeah, there's an achievement for getting like the perfect on the songs. Fuck, I gotta do this.
Yeah, see, I never did that. And
Yeah.
something something that the game says to try is it says during the songs, just try to improvise. And I was like, the musician in me says to screw off. I'm not doing that because a lot of
Yeah.
the times when I would try to improvise, it sounded horrible.
Oh no, my thing was like I do appreciate that they actually have like a little thing to like automatically do the song. Like don't even bother, just enjoy the enjoy the visuals, enjoy the song. I do
I
like
did
that as like as a mechanic.
after the first few songs. I did that so that I could focus on reading what the lyrics were saying because this game is entirely in a. It's not in English at all. You just have subtitles. So uh, in those mini games, I found myself going to auto mode most of the time so I could see what the lyrics were saying.
Yeah. Well, I figured like some of the language that we're speaking is French.
I think,
I understood that much.
yeah, I'm pretty sure the entire game was in French, but it was like a specific dialect of French that I'm blanking on right now.
Yeah. But yeah,
Uh,
in any case, I was so basically trying to get like the 100% that I was not able to like look at the lyrics too much.
that's fair enough. So we have one more short review that I want to squeeze into this episode. So uh, I'm gonna give my final thoughts and then let you give yours. I think that this is a perfect little. I think this is a perfect short, a little adventure game. It absolutely deserves any awards that it gets, especially for Games for Impact, because it is a beautiful game that showcases a culture that doesn't really get a whole lot of love in the media. Um, yeah, it runs great, it looks great, it sounds great. Um, the I can't really think of anything negative to say about it. The accessibility is something that I wish every game would have. Please, developers, let me save and quit whenever I want. Just let me.
Let me
Um,
skip gameplay sections.
yeah, let me skip gameplay sections. You hear that, Dark Souls? Uh,
Dark Souls last is basically your death.
yeah, for real. Uh, but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you.
Uh, like as you said, like I love this was just like a beautiful game. I did not like I didn't see the Game Awards, but dude, after I started playing a little bit, I got to see the islands, got to explore. I loved it. You get to see you get. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of areas you didn't see that I got to see since I did like the whole side, all the side quests. But dude, the island is so gorgeous, and it is so much more comfortable to like explore it after you get like all the upgrades, where you can just basically fly halfway through the island with no issues, just all at once. Love the way they actually like portrayed actually said a culture that basically like let's face it, not many people know about, especially in the West. And I hope like the best for for these guys going forward because I want to see more games from them because this was just a nice like loving experience. I don't know how else to describe it.
All right. Well, the moving on to the last bit of this episode, uh, you had done a review for a game that I wanted to squeeze in here. My Little Blood Cult. Is that the name? The full name?
Yes, my little block
Okay.
cult.
Okay. So I'm gonna turn it over to you and let you give your review on it.
Okay, look, my little blood cult. I played a little bit of it. It's honestly like my main thing that like made me sad is this is basically a phone game that was ported to PC to Steam without basically any big changes. It has a whole thing like it starts up, it gives you login bonus. You have to do like little daily quests. You have weekly quests, and basically like the whole game just base, basically goes on what's it called? You have to like use sacrifices to like basically fish for demons, souls, monsters, stuff like that in hell. Okay, now honestly, I will be fair. There was an update like yesterday, day before yesterday for the game that might have fixed a couple things. But my main issue is that whenever I got to play it, it was basically throw the line down, and you just kind of basically have to wait like what it was like a minute or minute and a half without doing anything because there was no interaction there at that point until something got hooked into the hook, and then you had to like play a little mini game to like bring it back. At one point, I did have a glitch where basically like I sent the hook down, but the menu for like getting things set up got stuck, so I couldn't do anything. So I had to force start, and it's I don't know I don't know what else to say. It feels like at least like I said, the version I played, it felt like a phone game that was quickly ported to PC and without really too much thought of like, oh, maybe like PC players are probably paying for stuff. So let's uh change a couple things up to make it more PC friendly. It just because I looked it up and the game is on the App Store and it was, let me see if my little block cold. Yeah, and it's a free game, so it just kind of felt like a quick port. I'm kind of disappointed because with the name, I felt like there was a lot more that could be done.
Yeah. So you said you looked it up on the App Store, but is it free on Steam?
Uh, in Steam, the house. It's last time I checked, it was not.
Okay. So that is where I have issue with things
Yeah.
like this because, on mobile, whatever. If it's a free game, that the developers have to get money somehow. So I mean, if you want to put gotcha mechanics in that's one thing. That's one thing. But when you're charging for a game, that is a wholly different thing, and that's where it starts to get a little bit despicable. I just don't agree with that as a practice at all. Um, now, you might have said this, and I might have missed it. But is the game still like the goals that you have in the game? Are they still attainable without paying extra money?
Oh no, like that's a weird thing. There's like nothing to there's like no like thing to like buy like currency or whatever.
So, like, what are the gotcha mechanics? Can you tell me what those were?
It's not as much it's not as much a gacha mechanic. It's just like, oh, it's basically just like, oh, you basically have to like spend money you buy like selling the stuff you fish to get more money to do the thing all over again.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that like they were like in-game purchases with real money.
No, there's not. It's just like the game is weird because it feels like it wants to have that.
Okay, well, okay, so that's okay. That's better.
No, it's like I'm not gonna give it shit for that. Like, be fair, being fair. But
Yeah.
it just feels like a quick I like phone game port. That's my main issue.
So I will say that you said that there was an update. Um, I do think that they have fixed like a few things here and there because uh, I had basically been told that the game didn't launch in the best state, but they had changed some things. So uh, maybe in the future we can get an update on that. But for now, I mean that's a shame that that it's not as good as we kind of wanted it to be. And honestly, this was one of those games where when we got the review code for it, I was stoked. But like I had so much on my plate review wise already that I was like, I just don't have the time to review this right now. Uh, I was very jealous of you, and to hear that the game just wasn't what I want. Like I wanted it to be like a satanic Animal Crossing.
Oh man, I would have been happy with just like a decent fishing game.
Yeah,
This
I mean
was
that.
this. It's a fishing game. I would have loved if like I don't know, like you have to make sure it's like to move the hook a certain way to like get attention. Like I don't. I don't know. Like, there's stuff you can do with fishing games.
Oh yeah, I mean, I mean, even with the Animal Crossing comparison, there were days where I would log into that game and just fish all day.
I was thinking like Legends of Zelda, since we talked about it so much a little bit ago.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Throwing it back a little bit older. RuneScape. I spent so much time fishing in RuneScape.
yeah. But yeah, it basically it was a very big disappointment for me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, well, that's our thoughts on our My Little Blood Cult or Our Little Blood Cult. What is it? Is it mine?
My Little Black Cult.
Okay, My Little Blood Cult. That's a fun thing to say fast. Uh, so yeah, we've got more reviews coming. We're just basically stuck with time constraints right now. So thanks for listening, guys, and we'll be back next week with more video game reviews. Leo, thanks for joining me, buddy.
Thanks for having me, dude. It's always fun to talk about, well, games in general.
Hell yeah. See you later, bud.
See you later.